All right, hello. It is crazy. Lately, I've been making a lot of videos on positive things. I don't think it's because there's more positive things lately or less negative things per se. I mean, there is more positive because, I mean, granted, even four positive things happening in the last few months is a big deal in modern day. But I don't think that's the only reason. And I don't think it's my own personal life either. It's just that there's a lot of things, a lot of topics I like that have been positive. Ever since Trump got elected, there's just more and more fucking good news. And now I'm not sure if this is correct, but I believe what happened was Trump threatened Mark Zuckerberg that if he doesn't stop censoring free speech and facts, he was gonna throw Mark Zuckerberg in jail, basically, because everyone's fucking fed up. I mean, it's everything. It's everything that surrounds censorship. Whether if it's the combination of fact checkers who, by the way, if you're really dumb, if you're one of those people who actually goes on, like, to check facts on the mainstream media or to check facts on, like, Snopes, for example, you are fucking stupid. Because most of the time when they do a fact check, they're not actually fact checking, they're actually fact suppressing. Fact checkers, for those of you who have no idea what's going on in the world, fact checkers are actually bought and paid for. Much like journalists who are paid to write something specific, they're not, like, journalists are not paid to research facts and report what they see. What they're paid for is they are mouthpieces, right, for the higher ups, like in the mainstream media, the elites. They are mouthpieces. They are paid to lie to you and call it a fact. And that applies to all journalism, hence why it's been a dead career for like over a decade. And fact checkers are the same thing. When you see this has been verified by fact checkers on Snopes, or you see one of those notes on Facebook or Instagram, this has been verified by fact checkers as true or false. It hasn't. They were paid to say that something is true or false, and usually if it's true, they will say it's false, and if it's false, they will say it's true. This Snopes and other fact-checking sites have been debunked thousands of times and caught for lying. And I mean, for example, one of the times that, I mean, it's happened to me many times, but one of the most impactful was back in 2018. Some of you may remember the Covington boys story, and if you don't, who fucking cares? It's not about the story itself, it's about what happened to me with the story. So there was a controversy involving the Covington boys back in 2018, and I made a video on it way back then. However, on Facebook, I didn't even make the post. I shared a post by someone else. This is how bad it is. I shared a post made by another fucking person, and Facebook banned me. That's why some of you might think, Matt, why is your Facebook made in 2019? It wasn't. It was made in 2005. I was banned off Facebook in 2018 for not only posting a fact, because that's all I do. I only post facts. But I posted a fact made by someone else! It wasn't even my fucking post! And I wasn't even given the grace period of, like, you know how Facebook will occasionally say, if you delete this post, we'll give you back your account, or a warning. Nothing. I shared the post, which was a factual post made by someone else, and then boom, my whole account was taken down. So I've been the victim of this many times. Many other people have been the victim of this. Usually it's on the right. Very rarely will liberals be censored. Again, I've explained it 1,000 times, but once again, I'll explain it again. The reason is because most information you see online, like pretty much all of it, is on the left. The mainstream media is 95% the left. So obviously the left isn't going to censor the left. Most censorship, pretty much all censorship, is anti-conservative, not anti-left. So that's how things happen. Anyway, because of what's been going on, because censorship is being fought now a lot harder with Trump or Elon Musk buying Twitter and restoring free speech to Twitter, for those of you who are also too stupid to understand what happened with Twitter, Elon Musk is not bad. You're just brainwashed by the media who called him bad. The reality is, the reason why the reason why Elon Musk fired hundreds of staff at Twitter is because Twitter had hired people in their staff, and their entire job was literally just to censor people. That's it. Literally, there were people employed at Twitter whose sole job was to go through the site and censor people who are posting facts. That's it. Whether if it was election facts or COVID facts or any other political facts that the left wants hidden, their whole job was to just comb through Twitter and delete facts and delete channels. And there were hundreds of people, of course, because there's millions of people on Twitter, you need hundreds of people who are working at Twitter to do that. And when Musk said, no, we're not going to censor people anymore, whether if it's free speech or facts, he's going to fire the people who were doing that job. And that's why hundreds of people were fired from Twitter. And again, the same thing does apply to YouTube and Facebook, but so far Elon Musk has only bought Twitter, and the rest of them are still controlled by censorship-loving Nazis, like Mark Zuckerberg. However, Mark Zuckerberg himself has finally gone back and said, we're done, we're not going to do it anymore. Let's hear what he has to say and the reasons why.
Hey everyone. I want to talk about something important today.
For once.
Because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes, it certainly fucking is. Hey guys, remember back from 2005 when all these sites like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube all started blowing up and they were all in their infancy? And right up until about 2011, free speech was allowed. For those of you who are young, or for those of you who don't remember because you've been brainwashed and everything, it's true. Up until about 2011, of course, it all ended in 2012 because, number one, that's when the world ended, and number two, that's when SJW culture began. Up until about 2011, you could actually talk on all of these sites. For real, you could. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Up until about 2011, 2012, you could actually post anything you wanted. You weren't censored, you weren't threatened, you weren't banned, you didn't have your post deleted. You could actually post things. You could post your opinion, you could post just free speech, you could post facts, and you actually weren't deleted. It was 2012 with the start of the SJW culture and all of these websites being paid to post, to force political statements as exposed many times by Project Veritas and James O'Keefe. We know this to be true because James O'Keefe has spent over 10 years exposing these websites as basically propaganda machines. Like, what they do is the staff at Facebook have been caught admitting on camera, yes, we do censor conservative beliefs and we do push left-wing ideas that support people like Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Obama, Hillary Clinton, etc. And we do impose algorithms that suppress people like Donald Trump, Vivek Ramaswamy, and other conservatives. They do this because they are paid to support the Democrat Party. That is a fact. These social media giants are paid to promote the Democratic Party and whatever the mainstream media wants people to believe. And that started around the same time as the SJW culture starting. And he's saying he wants to go back to 2010 when you could just talk on social media. I know. The very idea of being able to just talk on social media without threats of being censored or having political garbage forced down your throat like a priest with a young boy, that's what he wants to go back to, supposedly. Or was he forced into it? Let's keep going.
I started building social media to give people a voice.
And then you were paid by the mainstream media and the elites to do the exact opposite.
I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression.
And you were lying because even though you claimed to want free speech, what you wanted more was for your website to grow and get you money, and the mainstream media and the Democratic Party and the elites said, Mark, if you don't do what we want, your website is going to suffer.
And I still believe this today.
Well, you may believe it, but you haven't implemented it for over 10 years.
But a lot has happened over the last several years.
Like you being threatened to do the opposite.
There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content.
Yeah, it's one way to put it.
Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more.
And you were one of the people who said, okay, I will do what you fucking want. I love how he's sitting here, finally, after 15 years, to admit, actually, legacy media has been censoring more and more and more. And I was one of the people who was forced to do that. Sorry. I guess I now have to admit it. Yeah, I was one of the pill pushers. Sorry, guys.
A lot of this is clearly political.
No!
But there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation.
Yes, but you label those things incorrectly pretty much every time.
These are things that we take very seriously.
That's fine. Nobody's sitting here saying that child trafficking is free speech, bro.
And I want to make sure that we handle responsibly.
For once.
So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content.
That's an interesting way of saying we built algorithms that were specifically designed to censor anything on the right and push anything on the left.
But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes.
Make mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, I said this in my 2020 election fraud video, but I'll say it here too. Isn't it funny that every single time there is a political mistake or a social media mistake, why is it that literally every single time, I don't think there's ever been a time where this wasn't the case, every single time there's been a mistake, whether if it's from the Democratic Party or it's social media or it's literally on the mainstream news, like you're watching CNN and this exact thing happens, it's always, every single time, anti-conservative. Every time. If it's a fucking ballot box, it always affects the conservative candidate. If it's social media, it's always deleting the conservative points of view or facts. If it's the mainstream media and they have on a conservative, like, on the panel, like, that they're doing a talk with, and the feed is cut, it's always when a conservative is on. I love how the mistakes are always anti-right. Every single fucking time.
Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people.
Accidentally.
And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too
much censorship.
Much censorship.
Oh! I was correcting his word and he ended up saying exactly that.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech.
You think?
So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies.
Do you think maybe it's because now that Trump's elected, he's been saying, you're all done, you're fired, you're fucking done with the censorship, it is going to be huge, and we're taking down you fucking censorship Nazis. I cannot do a Trump impression, or any impression.
And restoring free expression on our platforms.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Let's go back to 2009. I would personally like that, when the world may have sucked, but at least the internet didn't yet.
More specifically, here's what we're going to do.
Let's hear it.
First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers.
It's about fucking time we're getting rid of fact suppressors who lie for the Democratic Party.
Replace them with community notes.
With community notes. Isn't that funny that you're following exactly what Elon Musk did? But come on. Hey, leftists, I thought Elon Musk was the most evil piece of shit in the world, and now you're going to do exactly what he did because you see that it works? Interesting!
Similar to X.
Thank you for admitting it.
Starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote non-stop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, yeah, misinformation is a threat, but it would be nice if you admitted that what you were censoring wasn't misinformation. It was information that you call misinformation in order to censor it and bring down facts to push democratic lies.
We tried in good faith to address those concerns without
You didn't.
becoming the arbiters of truth.
That is completely fucking false. Anybody who has followed my videos on James O'Keefe or anything he's done, or followed James O'Keefe's videos over the last fucking 15 years, you would know that multiple fucking employees who were caught on hidden camera, who worked for Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and Google, have all came out and said, yes, we are censoring people on the right. We are doing that. We are paid to do that by the Democratic Party and the mainstream media. Yes, we are doing that. Like, they've admitted it multiple fucking times.
But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased.
You know what I love? Whenever I make fun of people who are stupid, what I love is how behind people are. I can only imagine, and I'm going to give myself a headache, but I'm saying this for you. When people watch this video, I wonder how many people go, wait, really? The fact checkers were politically biased? And I'm just sitting here like, I've been saying this since 2012. People are so fucking slow.
and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially
Gee, I wonder why. Is it because they've been caught lying all over and over and over again?
in the US.
Well,
So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system.
yeah, one that actually uses sources to prove what you're saying. Crazy shit. Like fact checkers, who again are not fact checkers, they're fact suppressors. The reason why they've been caught lying so much is because the actual source that the fact checkers use is the mainstream media. That's what they use. But the community notes use actual fucking statistics and studies.
Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive
Yeah, more inclusive to everybody who isn't a conservative. Yes.
has increasingly been used.
And again, like, just let's throw this in there. Since when have efforts to be more inclusive in any capacity ever worked? Think about SJW culture. Think of the mainstream media. Think of DEI, which stands for didn't earn it. When has that ever worked? I know that you people are all insane because you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. But just look at the world. When it comes to going SJW or doing things for DEI reasons or any other number of shit you people do to promote inclusivity, it's funny how it's gone the opposite direction every single fucking time for the last 12 years. Give it up. It doesn't fucking work. You people are fucking deluded.
To shut down opinions and shut out
Facts.
people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that
It went too far like 10 years ago.
people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes
You mean you're not going to act like Joseph Stalin for a change?
that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation.
No, well, Paul, it's a little bit open-ended what policy violation refers to. Basically, what you had algorithms that scanned for facts and you deleted them. If anybody dared to say that COVID wasn't nearly as deadly as the mainstream media said, boom, banned. If anybody said that the 2020 election was in fact stolen, boom, banned. If anybody said that the Hunter Biden laptop story was true, boom, banned, even though it was true. If anybody said anything factual, boom, banned. If Matt's FTR tries to share a literal fact written by someone else about the Covington boys in 2018, boom, banned. And the list goes on.
Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations.
You mean like you should have been doing this entire time?
And for lower-severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
Fucking crazy. And actually that is crazy because I think this is something that we'll all agree on, even stupid people, but Facebook does not look at reports. They just don't. They ignore them.
The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content
Man, that is the understatement of the fucking millennium.
that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms.
Uh-huh.
We're also going to tune our content filter
By the way, before I continue, yes, I am aware that a lot of what he's saying, if not all of it, could just be a lie, because it literally always is, but regardless, let's just cover it, okay?
to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff.
Well, what do you... okay.
We'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down.
Okay, but let's look at the numbers of the differences here. So less bad stuff will be caught. So that'll decrease by like 3%. Oh, big deal. But the amount of innocent people not getting fucked over will go from like the amount of innocent people will go from 10% to like 70. So give or take, you know.
Fourth, we're bringing back civic content.
It's been so long. It's been so many millennia. I forgot what that even fucking is.
For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed.
Ah, yes. Having things forced in your face through premeditated posts and stuff. Yeah, that's something that's something that's become so fucking normalized today that we even forgot it was a thing. People have been so, like, even me forgot, even I forgot. So imagine a dumb person. It's been so long since we've all been able to scroll through our feed on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or whatever and not have shit shoved down our fucking throat that we forgot the world before that was even a thing. Like, I feel like I'm having like a fucking Vietnam War PTSD flashback, like a fucking soldier who's like, oh man, it's been so many years since I remember that world of ours.
So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California.
Out of California? Well, I think by now it's become a meme on Matt's FTR that pretty much every psychotic story comes out of California because they do. And just to hear him say, we're moving it out of California, has so much more meaning behind it than you think.
And our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas.
Oh my god, they're bringing it to a conservative state where people believe in free speech. Holy fuck! I'm not being sarcastic, like, actually, holy fuck, that's amazing.
As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams.
Shocking!
Finally,
I mean, before it was all leftist shit posted by leftist people in a leftist state. I wonder why there was so much bias. Oh, and enforced by the leftist media. Now you're going to Texas where, I mean, I'm hoping it's not going to be politically biased on the conservative side now. But then again, if it was, I wouldn't care because I've been putting up with left-wing bias for almost 15 years, so fuck you.
We're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are
Okay, if he's not lying about that, the world might actually start healing.
going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there. Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down. China has censored our apps from even working in the country. The only way that we can...
And Russia wants to sue Google for $2.3 decillion. I made a video on this, but I deleted it, so I'll give you a bit of a flashback rundown now. So basically, Russia was fed up of Google censoring like everything in Russia, so they decided to sue them for what was a human amount of money at first. But what happened was Russia said that we're going to double the money every single year since 2020, which is why it's now $2.3 decillion. And if you don't understand how much fucking money that is, they did the math and found out that $2.3 decillion is 23 million times more than all of the money on the entire planet. The actual literal galaxy doesn't cost that much money. So it became what is, without question, the funniest lawsuit in existence.
can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it.
Take my virginity, Dadley.
It'll take...
What? Did I just say Dadley? I don't even care.
...time to get this right, and these are complex systems. They're never going to be perfect.
God forbid.
There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove.
Go ahead. Nobody's complaining about that. Bro, you don't need to mention things like illegals and drugs and child trafficking and child molesters and rapists and ISIS videos and terrorist videos. We just want our free speech back. and we want to post literal statistical facts without being banned. I want to be able to say men make up 80% of all suicides without getting my fucking account taken down, bro. That's all I fucking want. I want to be able to post facts. I want to be able to post facts about things that actually matter and should be focused on in our world to make it a better place. I'm sick of being told that 20% of all suicides are women. They're the ones suffering. Hello? But 80% are men. Banned! You cannot speak good about men. Men don't deserve help. We must help the women who are barely suffering at all.
But the bottom line is that after years of having our content moderation work focus primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice. I'm looking forward to this next chapter.
Me too. I hope the chapter actually comes, or am I going to be holding the book here and find out that the fucking pages are blank?
Stay good out there, and more to come soon.
Yeah, we'll see. Alright, so now let's take a little bit of a hilarious look at some of the reaction to this, because yes, of course, there are people who are brain damaged enough to have a problem with this. Go figure. Like this article here by The Onion. Meta says fact checkers were the problem. Fact checkers rule that false. Fact-checking groups that worked with Meta said they had no role in deciding what the company did with the content that was fact-checked. Okay, I love it. Oh, the fact-checkers are bullshit? Well, we fact-checkers say that you're lying. Oh, wait a minute, that's not The Onion, that's the New York Times. Sorry, this article was so funny, I just thought it had to be The Onion. And I do apologize for those of you who are watching. I cannot read the actual article because I'm not going to pay for this shit. But, come on. It's 2025. I think we all know exactly what this article says. It's the same shit we've been hearing for over a decade. Oh, that's not true. Okay, all that censorship you've been seeing of conservatives, that was actually conservatives censoring themselves to play the victim, and don't ask me any facts because we don't do that stuff over here. That's all it says, okay? I don't have to read it. Now, let's take a look at more of the reactions from Joy Reid, the angry black woman over on, I think, MSNBC. Look, this woman, if you ever watch the news, I just watch clips to make fun of her, but, well, the news as a whole, but specifically her as well. Joy Reid is one of the absolute worst news anchors in television history, and she's angry about this, go figure. Why would you oppose fact-checking? Because they don't check facts. But let's see what she has to say. I'm sure it's just as hilarious as we all think it is.
Why would conservatives think fact-checking is biased against?
That might be because it is. Like, factually it is.
Them. I mean, what are you sharing?
Facts.
If you keep getting fact-checked.
Because you morons on the you Democrats hate facts that go against your constant bullshit, and they fly in the face of candidates like Kamala Harris, for example, or Joe Biden. You don't like it because it opens people up to the truth about how bad they are, so you say that the facts are not facts in order to brainwash people. That's the problem. That's always been the problem.
For false information.
It's not false information. What you post is false information. We prove it false, and then the fact checkers you pay tell the world that we're the ones who are wrong. That's why you're angry, because real facts might actually come back, and you're pissed off about that.
Think about it.
Think about it.
What were conservatives sharing on Meta that was
Statistics.
getting flagged so much?
Or sending, or we were posting a lot of videos that the media wanted hidden. For example, we would post videos of Biden not being able to talk, right? And then the media would say, oh, Biden is in his prime when it comes to his cognitive ability. So we need to delete we need to hide and censor all the videos that show him slurring his words to give off the impression that he is cognitively great. And then, once those videos are gone, so there's no proof of their side, we will then tell people that Trump has the cognitive decline, and because the bad Biden videos are censored, nobody can argue with us.
Are they spreading false information?
No, not at all.
And why were they so eager? And why are Republicans in general so eager to end the idea of fact checking?
Because you're not checking facts. That's all it is.
What are they trying to share?
Facts.
What is the motivation for not wanting it to be
Because you're not checking facts.
fact checked?
Because you're not checking facts.
Just something to think about.
Okay, for Joy Reid and all people on the left, your personal narrative are not facts. Statistics are facts. Crazy.
While you're noodling things.
No. Jesus Christ. What a complete fucking idiot. Anyway, guys, this is hilarious. I hope Mark is not lying for a change. That would be nice. And let me know what you think. How do you feel about this? Do you think that fact-checking will actually become like about facts again? Or do you think everything will stay exactly as it is or get worse like it usually does? Let me know.